Today's session is going to handle something very exciting. Um, Part of it is going to talk about how being confused in your thoughts is disadvantageous to your success journey, right? And that is something that many Cameroonians are facing. And if that's why you get to look at, that very few Cameroonians really have very successful careers, or they have built very, very large and growing successful businesses. That doesn't mean that they don't desire to succeed. It doesn't mean that they don't desire to have incredible careers that can transcend the global scene, the intercontinental scene, or that can just transcend the national scene. There are many that their careers just end up in the local communities and all of that. Nothing is bad about that. Of course, if that's where you want to end. But if you really desire to win and shine in that area, it's very critical for you to look at that. So that's why today we're going to look at a good part of that of the book by Holmes, talking about confused thinking and the disadvantage of confused thinking in your journey of success. So it's very important that as you push through, you need to have very clear thinking processes about the kind of things you want to do. And that's why for those who are going through the mentorship program, the first 7 days that you indicate and you enroll to become a mentee, that's why we go through that particular process. And one of the reasons, because I want to streamline. Many of you start very confused. And before you reach the 30, 35 days, I start seeing how you're sounding different. You're sounding more clear. And when we are working on working with you daily and weekly and so on, that clarity begins to happen. And please, I want you to note this. You don't get clear about the things you want to handle in your business and career in a year. It took me what? I actually had my final clarity on what I want to do for the rest of my life in 2016, right? So it took me since 2010 to find my path, about 6 years, 5 years to find my path. So, and that's why it's good that you're open to these kind of sessions, you're open to knowledge, these kind of books, you're open to coaching, you're open to studies, because instead of you taking 6 years, 7 years, or 10 years, some people take 15 to 20 years when they find their path. If you're somebody who read biographies of people, you're going to see that. But these kind of programs help you to discover this very faster, right? Because there's a blueprint that you're going to follow and you discover all of this. And that's why all of you have to go through the passion workbook and the purpose confirmation workbook. Is very critical, very, very critical in this journey. Okay, so let's go to this. One of the things that Holmes is talking about when it comes to success and tapping into your mind is that if our outer thoughts are confused, we will not be able to collect from the infinite source of knowledge. If our outer thoughts are confused, we will never be able to collect from the infinite source, from God's own infinite source. We will never have that ability to collect, right? So if our outer thoughts, we are never confused, that's what he's saying, if our outer thoughts were never confused, we should at all times draw from this infinite source of knowledge and understanding. That is why I look at people who have clarity in their purpose. Like I was telling you guys one time, if it means that creating things, creating activities to enhance corporate success, to enhance people's personal productivity, I know I am excellently good at it because I can easily collect ideas from that universal source of that God's own ecosystem and implement. Even beyond that, my brains and my heart and my spirit, they are functioning at a peak level because I am functioning in my element, in my best place, in my best place where I can function effectively when it comes to body, spirit, and soul. I'm not confused if I should do this, I should do that. I am not everywhere. My path is very clear. You get a point? So that's the power of that. So if our outer thoughts, we are never confused. We are not confused whether are you really getting a job? Are you building a business? Are you Are you getting married? Are you dating? Are you dating? Some of you don't even know whether you are in your dating period or you want to marry tomorrow. You are just confused everywhere. You don't know whether you were thinking of getting kids this year or if next year. You are just, your mind is too clouded. So you are just like worrisome. So you are instead like a disturbance to this source of knowledge. You are a nuisance to God's own ecosystem, right? In the sense that God's looking this one. What do I do? What? How do I bless this one? How do I work with this one? How do I, right? So the ecosystem is confused because your atmosphere is very confused. You get a point? So, and if you don't conquer that, that's what, see, one thing I did about my life is that I've studied my mom's family. I know I don't know my dad, so I know my mom's family more. I took time to study their patterns, right? And many of these things is what they did. It's what they did. And that's why many ended up mediocre, ended up at a very lower level of life. Not because they didn't desire success. They didn't just know how to do it. Right? The second to the last one, my mom came to my office one time and she was super shocked. Her question was, how did you do this? I know that some of the family cannot help you do, so how did you achieve this? I didn't think that anybody, and that was the first time you ever came to Douala this year. I mean, that was last week, right? She was like, I didn't know that somebody in our family could even enter a plane. Those are the things that she was saying in the office, right? Because in her mind, it's not possible because they didn't know that they were not exposed to that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean that they didn't like success. They love success. They wanted to be people in the society too. But they missed out on some core elements that define successful people. This is exclusive knowledge. These are things that majority of the common man will never know if they don't seek it. Right? So know that from today. So we should be guided by it and never make mistakes. Yes, when you are connected to the infinite source of knowledge, to the infinite source of inspiration, to the infinite source of understanding, to the infinite source of direction, that is God, you will never make mistakes because you are always guided by it. Yes, you're always guided by it. That's why there are some people, you look at them, you may feel as if their life is too perfect. You may feel as if these people don't go through problems. No, the point is that they have become bigger than problems. Yes, there's a realm you get to where you are bigger than problems. Just your access to superior knowledge, superior guidance, superior wisdom, and superior understanding puts you in that realm where you're bigger than problems. You either have this way of anticipating what may and may not happen, or you have this superior way of dealing with problems when they happen, and you still keep your cool. Like I always say, you have entered the realm where you eat problems for breakfast. You have entered the realm where if something happens within the day, you eat it for lunch and you solve it and life continues. I think nothing happened. That's a realm where you have to enter to. And you cannot enter that realm when you are confused everywhere. That's why for my mentees, one thing I drive with you guys is I need you guys to find a path, a clear path. And that's always push. I said it one time in one of my articles. If you are 25 and you're entering 26 and you don't have your clear path, that is be one of your major reasons to focus upon. If that may be the case, if you have in short, you better dump your boyfriend or girlfriend and find your path, then go call him back and I'm going to date you now. I'm just in a scenario to see how serious it is. Like, I don't see why you should be in a serious relationship where you don't have no your path. So the only thing you know is like the relationship per se, right? So that's what I'm saying. So it's very critical. It's very, very critical that you need to find your path and stop being confused. Because listen to this, people, listen to this. There is a special grace that will only be released to you by God's own universal ecosystem when you have discovered that path and you're no longer confused. This is not religion. This is not anything religion or whatever. So, like you fast and go up and come down and jump and speak in tongues for 2,000 years, there is the level of successful grace that is only released from God's own ecosystem to an individual when they have discovered their path. I wish there was a way I could prove this to you scientifically, but I can only prove to you by sharing you my story and the story of other people. There are some things you desire right now, like you desire like how. They will not come your way until your path to significance is clear. You have to, and that is your job to find it. And the good news is you're not in this part, you're not supposed to struggle to find it alone. You have the support you need. You have a community you need. You have me that we can work together and find this path for you. And this thing, you have to pay the price for it. You have to be dedicated to it. Don't leave it to chance, please. Don't refuse to be an average Cameroonian. Refuse to be a typical young Cameroonian out there and be separate. Okay, good. Now, the development of the understanding is learning to draw from infinite understanding. Yes, if you say that you're somebody that you have developed in your level of understanding, it means that you have grown to the level whereby you can draw from God's own level of understanding. And we can never do this while we are confused in our thinking. It's very clear. This is what Holmes wrote. You can never develop this level of understanding where you draw from God's own level of understanding if you are still confused in your thinking. You need to be clear in your thinking. Have you chosen to build a professional career and not a business? Are you very clear with that? Is that your path? Then chase that path. Have you chosen the industry where you want to be a titan, an icon in that industry? Are you very sure that you want to lead in the agricultural sector? Are you sure that you want to lead in finance? Are you sure that you want to lead in fashion, in whatever you have chosen? Then you need to be there and stop being everywhere. And of course, you can combine two industries. You can choose finance and fashion, but you need to be very clear. This is my path for the next 80, 90, 100 years of my life. You're going to live up to that level. So you can never handle this if you are still confused in your thinking. So supreme intelligence and absolute power are acting upon our thoughts that are clear and bringing it to pass. Yes, supreme intelligence, our state of entering supreme intelligence and our state of entering absolute power is acting upon our thoughts and bringing it to pass. So it is now guiding us, right? And we shall make no mistakes when we operate from that level. And we hold ourselves in the secret place of the Most High and abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That is him using a scripture now to confirm that supreme intelligence and that absolute power. So there is a level of when you bypass confusion where you clearly hold yourself in the secret place of the Most High and you abide under the shadow of the Almighty because you are no longer confused in your thinking. You know exactly what you want. You know exactly why you are there, and you know exactly what you're chasing. So often we find ourselves confronted by the problem of how to begin. Right, that like many people get to me. I don't know how to start. I don't know where to start. I don't know what. Like when you see one of the signs that somebody's still confused in that thinking is that they don't know how to start things. Like they have a dream in their mind, they have the goals they want to do, but they don't know where to start it. They're still very confused in whatever they do. They don't know if they find it difficult to develop a step-by-step process to get things done. You see, and that's where like consulting comes in. One sign that you're an excellent consultant or a problem solver is you can help people start up things and complete things. And people find it difficult to start things because they are still confused in their thinking, right? Where you are not sure of what you want to do, right? You see nowhere to begin anything. You see nothing to begin on. When we find ourselves in this position, humanly speaking, not knowing where to turn, then of all times we must be quiet and listen. We have to discipline ourselves and have a clear thinking pattern and have a clear thinking path, clear thinking purpose, right? Then of all times we must trust that the name of power that started all things will also start us in the right road, right? So I'm talking about God. So we have to also believe that the God who is the source of all power, understanding, and wisdom has the ability to start us in the right path. But that ability is only enhanced or amplified, or that ability is only activated in a way God can direct you in the right path if your own ecosystem is right, if your atmosphere is right, if your thinking is not confused. That is when that path, that level is activated. That's when that particular level is activated, where God Himself can direct you in the right path, where the universal ecosystem can order your footsteps. No, do this. No, do this. Like what prophets gets to do. One of the ways they do that is because they have that ability to connect easily to that universal source, right? And that universal source or ecosystem can quickly start you in the right path, in the right road. And that's why it says that for without some superior power, we shall surely fail. That's scary. For without some superior power, we shall surely fail. For without some superior understanding, we shall surely be confused. For without some superior direction, we shall surely be confused. For without some superior path, access to a clear path, we shall surely stumble. So you need to do this. And that's why one thing about this is also that's why people attach themselves to coaches and you see people attach themselves to prophets and chief priests and all of these people. Their belief is that since I don't have the time, I don't have the ability to attach myself to some superior power or superior understanding or superior revelation, I better attach myself to somebody who does. Right? Because it's possible you can come to me for advice and you're confused. I can be able to give you advice. I can talk to you, dig deep into your spirit and mind and understanding, and then pull out, okay, this is a step you should take. And when you take it, it works out like business. Like someone asked me the other day, so where do you get the confidence from and tell somebody to pay you before you solve their problem? How do you know they're going to solve the problem? Is that not risky? Actually, that's good thinking because actually they're risky. So why don't you get the money and don't solve the problem, right? You're in trouble, right? So I've never really looked at it that way, but I was like, oh, like really, that's some point to have there, right? But the only thing that amplifies that kind of confidence, like when you want to hire for consulting, I'm like, okay, you know what? Yes, we have done that, but you have to pay 60% of the fee. So what gives you the audacity to ask someone to pay you 60% of the consulting fee before you start solving the problem? What if you messed up? What gives that audacity they're going to solve the problem? Right? Because there is the only audacity that there is some level of access to superior power, understanding, wisdom, guidance, whatever they can call of this, that I believe superior knowledge, superior competence, that I just have this double assurance that I'm going to sort it out. You see? So here we must wait and know that the same power that first taught a universe into being can also think our world and walk into being. Hear this again. Here we must wait as individuals. We must wait. That's like maybe waiting in the presence of the Lord, for example. We must wait in studies and understanding. Like what we're doing now is waiting, right? You know, when you're studying and you're getting coached, you're getting counsel, that is waiting. That's part of waiting, right? Or you just praying and just being silent and just getting some revelations, that is waiting. Here we must wait and know that the same power that first taught a universe, that first brought the universe into existence, into being, can also assist you to think your world, to think your path, to think your destiny and walk into being. Yes, you have to believe that, you have to wait that. And that's why your atmosphere and your ecosystem must be right. You get the point? Like I saw a quote on a popular blogger's timeline this morning, and it was like a main quote, and the person says that working in silence very hard does not guarantee that you're going to succeed in public. Working in silence very hard doesn't guarantee that you're going to succeed in public. And I went under the post and I said, yes, I prefer to work very hard in silence and fail than to fail. I prefer to fail on my own terms. I prefer to fail based on my own knowing that I did my best. I prefer to fail knowing that I put in a sleepless night. I gave him my all. I gave him every single thing, and I failed. I will fail a satisfied failure. I will fail happily, knowing that I did everything humanly possible. Then I ended by saying that I prefer to do everything according to my human capabilities and leave the rest to God and life. Get a point? So that's why, and that's the level of hard work you need to enter, whereby whether results are coming or not, you are consistently giving in your best. Your job and your business is to mind your business and giving your best. Your job is to get up from bed on time. Don't sleep till 9 o'clock because you think life has nothing to give you. No. Get up at 4 and study. Get up at 5 and get coached. Get up, study, go apply for jobs, try to start a business, do your part, and leave the rest to life, to universe, and to God. So that if at the end of the life, if the end of your life, and you fail, you are not where you wanted to be, but you are super convicted that you gave it your all. You sowed the right seed, you took the right actions, you had the right habits, you had the right thought, you gave in your all, and life did give you back what you deserve or what you earned. You will die a satisfied person. But trust me, you're gonna regret very, very much. You need some of you start regretting when you get to 30. I have coached people that are 35, 40, 45, and they are regretting their last 20 years because they know why is that? Why are they regretting? They know they did not bring their A game to life. They know they did not come in with the best of the best. They did not bring in the best strategies. They did not bring in the best actions. They did not go through the right sleepless night to produce the kind of life they desire. But under heaven and under God and under this universe that I know, I have not seen anybody who has given in their best and sowed the right seeds, invested the right energy, actions, and thinking and strategies, and this life never gave them back what they do, what they earn. It's not going to happen. As long as seed time and harvest time remains, so will people that put in the right actions will also harvest whatever they sow, as far as this life is concerned, career and business. So whatever that guy said, it doesn't work. It's just his level of ignorance and short-sightedness, or the level of access he has as far as superior universe is concerned. So put in your best. That's why I said earlier, yesterday, yes, in the group I said, it takes 25 years for you to build a good name. Like to mentees, I was telling them, many of you, I'll start putting some more respect to your name when after many of you are still under my mentorship, what, few months, 3 months, 2 months. There are guys who have been doing this for 4 years, 4 years plus, where I get up one morning, we have a session at 12 o'clock in the night, boom, they're there. We have a session at 4 a.m., boom, they're there for 4 years. You have just done for 15 days, or you have just done for 20 days, what? 3 months, 3 months? You have just, as I said, you just looked for material to start building your house. Maybe you have never bought the land self to start building it, right? So chill. You get a point? So you have done 15 days, don't say, try, I have tried though. Yes, you have just tried to look for material, which is good. It's a good action step. Now you need to start looking for the land and start laying the foundation. Because guys have done it for 4 years and they're still doing it because they have seen something, right? And they're never here, they're never in your group. So they even bother looking. I think the oldest mentee here is who? I think Mispa, who enrolled for the full mentorship program and been doing it, yes, like 1 year plus. I think that's Mispa. That's why this particular group is concerned. So there's a group, I call them elder brothers and elder sisters, that have been there for 4 years. They all started respecting me as a mentor when I was not this successful yet as a young person, right? So sorry, I break down my success into 2 levels. This is my success as a young person, as a young boy. It's a success for the old age success I'm still looking for. That's why I'm still having sleepless nights together with you guys, right? So there's the other guys that they just I don't know what they saw at that time, but they believed, they just know that I had something that's going to take them to where they were going, right? And they submitted for mentorship and all of that. They've been there for 4 years now, 16 and so, and they're still grinding. They're still grinding, but they're still putting in their best. And just from those people, I have believed that when you put in the work, when you invest to this universe, the universal laws of success will back you. I have seen these guys rise from where they were in 2016 and 17 to where they are today. I have seen tangibly how their lives have become better. Okay, so we must realize that there is something that wants to respond, to make manifest. And this realization is to wait for ideas, right? That's one thing. So We must realize that there is something that wants to respond. Now, replace that something and put God. We must realize that there is God that desires to respond to us. Put, you can put what? Heaven, put ecosystem, put God on ecosystem. But from today, realize this. We must realize there is something that desires to respond to you. The question is, what are you doing for that thing to respond to you in the right action, in the right way? There's a force, guys. There is a supreme force. There is a supreme being. There is a supreme power. There is some level of supreme wisdom or understanding just eagerly waiting to respond to you. You get the point? Just eagerly waiting to respond to you. There is something waiting to make manifest. There's that power waiting to make manifest. We must have that realization. And that's why when you're taking the right actions, you are living the right lifestyle, you're taking the right habits, you're not doing it to please me. I am pushing you to do this not to please me. I'm doing it because there's something I know that you don't yet know. And if you do this right stuff, I know that there is a force that will respond in your favor. That force only responds to good things. That force only responds to excellent things. That force only responds to people who put in the right work in the right direction. That force only responds to people who know what to do, how to do, and when to do it. So when you get up in the morning at 4 a.m., get up with the consciousness that you know what, there is a force, there is a supreme being, there is a power that is eagerly waiting to respond to my positive actions. Yes, that force does not respond to laziness. That force does not respond to too much sleep. That force does not respond to too much television. That force does not respond to WhatsApping and Facebooking. It only responds to something tangible, to something significant. It only responds to valuable action. So have that realization of today as we go out today. Know that there is a force that is readily available to respond to your atmosphere of success. So it's your job to intentionally create that success atmosphere. Know that there is a supreme power, there's a supreme understanding, there's a supreme source of knowledge ready to release ideas to you, ready to see you manifest in goodness and excellence and success and power and whatever. The plans I have for you are the plans of good and not of evil. Very clearly stated. So have that, this consciousness is one of the greatest secrets of great men. They know that they set out and they know. That's why, like, ask yourself, where does Elon Musk of Tesla, where does he get the heart to design an electric car since 2011, 2001 or so, that he started working on that? Where does he take that heart? How did he know that he's going to make it? Where does he take the heart and the mind to believe that he can build a rocket that can go to space, that can transport a normal human being to space and back? What gives him the audacity to think like that? What gives Donald Trump the audacity that he can run for the elections and win? What gives other people the belief that they can run and they can become presidents of nations? What amplifies that? One of the things is this is one of their secrets. They know that there is a force. They have realized, they have that consciousness. They are convicted that there is a force, there is a supreme being, there's superior knowledge and understanding. There's this superior intelligence ecosystem that is readily awaiting to respond to their actions. And these actions are not average actions. They are not baby actions. They are not actions taken by boys and girls. No, they are actions taken by men and women of matured understanding, of matured revelations and convictions and knowledge, of matured superior competence. That if I do this with excellence and commitment and desire, and I bring in my A game, the universe, God's own ecosystem will respond positively to me. That's why I believe this 15 days is only going to bring goodness to you. I have no doubt it's going to do that. The only thing that can hinder the goodness of these 15 days manifesting your career and business is your belief system or your thinking. But as far as God's own ecosystem is concerned, they are readily waiting to manifest and to respond to whatever you have done. And that's why I told you guys, some of you, you're going to experience the benefit of these 15 days, this week, this month. Some of you, it will be 2 years. It's going to be next year, it's going to be next month. But by all means, under heaven and under God, there will be a response. There will be a response. But you need to realize that there is an ecosystem eagerly waiting to respond to you, eagerly waiting to manifest in your favor. Right? That's why it is said in the book that it may not come immediately, it may not come at first, but we must be patient, never doubting, and waiting thus in faith, it will come. Let me say that again. After that realization and conviction, know that it may not come first. It's a may. For some people, it may happen immediately. It may not come first. Like I told you guys, there are many things I wished for and I put in the hard work several years back. It is now that it is happening. Look at this year. It is now that what? The whole year is calling me to come train. I have dreamed of training in continental programs, international programs. I'm speaking, and guys are from like 20 different countries sitting in one and listening to me talk about business. It is this year that is happening. I have dreamt of embassies calling me up and down. Still happening about last year and this year to come speak. I've dreamt of companies hiring me. Yesterday, I just see a deal. A company is taking me to Dubai to train the leadership team for 2 days masterclass. I'm going to design for them. It happened by yesterday. Many of those things I've dreamt about and did the hard work, it is now they're happening. But here's the point. When the results are not coming, operate from that realm. Well, you know what? I don't care. My business is to realize and know that there is a supreme being waiting to respond in goodness, in excellence to my hard work. So my job and my business right now is to do the right thing, whether results are coming or not. That's why I call passion and purpose. Passion is that thing that keeps you going when the money is not coming. Passion is that thing that keeps you going when the results are not manifesting the way you desire. If you're that kind of person that you do 2 things, like let's say somebody just do this result marathon for 15 days, you do 2-3 days, and you think that nothing is happening, and then you give up. You're still a baby. You still need to wake up. You're not yet started anything. You have just started a business. Like I laugh at people who just started business and it's just 6 months. When I ask how do you have business, I've been 6 months, and then you're crying. 6 months and then you're crying. Guys have built for 3, 4, 5, 7 years and nothing is showing yet, and they are still building. You have not yet started. Like I was talking to one guy, he failed GC advanced level one time, and I'm not going to write it down. I said, shut up, go back to school. What have you done? You have never started anything because you have failed once in your life, and you're telling me that you want to write GC. Just shut up. One of my cousins, just shut up and go back to school. You get the point? So that's what it means. It may not come at first, guys. It may not manifest the way you desire, but here's my charge to you today. Wait in patience. And you know, when we talk about patience in PPA, it means patience. While you are patient, take good actions. While you are patient, live life the right way. While you are patient, upgrade yourself. While you are patient, be around the right people. While you are patient, giving your best to life. That's the right patience we're talking about. Never doubt. Don't doubt. See, have absolute belief that you're going to succeed. Have absolute belief that your success is just waiting. It's just time that is separating you between you and your success. You are already a success. It's just time that needs to make it manifest. You get a point? Have that belief, wait in faith, and know that it's going to come. To conclude, great men are those who get a vision and then go to work to make it come true. Great women are those who get a vision. Remember that, no confused thinking. Your vision is very clear. I know my vision for 2030. I know where the company will be in 2035. It's well written down. And I was telling my staff yesterday during our brief staff meeting, there are things I'm doing for them, not because I'm afraid of them. No, those are things I wrote down in 2017, 2018, that for the employees that work for me, I would do this for them. I would do this for them. I wrote it down in 2017. I exactly knew what I'm doing. So I'm not reacting. I already knew the things I want to do as far as the company is concerned, and I'm still perfecting the bright. I'm not saying it's a perfect vision. No, it's not. It's not, because as I get more exposed, as I get access to more knowledge, as my mentor mentors me more, as I learn from role models, I'm just going to perfect the vision. There's no stagnant vision, guy. There's progressive vision. As you grow, it's going to be progressive. But the purpose remains the same. But the vision can be progressive. It can expand, it can enlarge, but the purpose is very clear. There's no confusion about that. So great men and women are those who get a vision and then do what they get to work and make it come true. You get to work. When you have that clarity of thought, clarity of purpose, you get to work. Never looking to one side, but with one pointedness. That's clarity in thinking. No confused thinking. You're not looking on this other side or this other side. No, there's one pointedness and a calm determination, and you stick to the thing until it is accomplished. Let me read that last sentence and then we're done. Great men and women are ones who get a vision and then get to work to make it come true, never looking to one side or the other, but with one pointedness and calm determination. They stick to one thing until it is accomplished. That is what great men and women do. So from today, I am very, very sure that we are raising great men and women. All right, guys, cheers. That is it for today. We can do some chit chat for the next 15 minutes, no, 20 minutes. It's 5:37, 20 minutes, and we can call it a day.